So the next question kind of follows up on that. So just a dolphin tail slap. Little conditions check here. Yep, that looks like SeaDoo weather. What's up guys, welcome back to another episode and welcome to glorious I can never say that. Sunny Southern California. Welcome to glorious sunny Southern. Wow, okay, here we go. What's up guys, welcome back to another episode and welcome to glorious sunny Southern California. There you go, nailed it. I haven't been out on the SeaDoo on the ocean for a long time and you guys have been in my DMs saying the dolphins miss me, and you know that I love the dolphins. There's also been some killer whales out there as well. Now I'm not saying we'll see them today. They do seem to be quite elusive, but they have been in the area, so who knows, maybe we'll come across them. It looks absolutely bloody gorgeous out there, so that's what we're gonna do today. Go for a little cruise and see what we can find, and I'll be answering some of your questions that you left me on Instagram the other day, because it's been a while since we've done a Q&A, and obviously a lot has gone on in the last probably 18 months or so since we last did one. So yeah, I'm gonna smash this burrito because I'm starving. Shout out Chronic Tacos. This isn't sponsored, but Wee Man, if you do want to sponsor me, then I would definitely not say no. If you are ever in the Newport Beach, Orange County area, then definitely go and check out Chronic Tacos. Wee Man started this chain and now there's a bunch of them everywhere, and oh my god, they're so good. Cheers. It's been a while since we've launched from here, and I'm parked up next to an F250 that's on a full Carly suspension lift, and it's got a really cool double roof rack. It is literally the exact build that I want to do to my truck. So I just took some reference pictures because that is something that we're going to be working on in the next couple of months, is getting my truck built to that version 2 stage. We're going big, we're going 37-inch tires, we're going roof rack, a nice probably 3.5-inch suspension lift. We're gonna make it a real weapon. Well, let's get into some of these questions, and given that I'm right underneath the flight path for Orange County Airport, this one is a pretty apt question. This is from Morph Mixology, and they say, any desire to get a pilot's license and own your own plane? 100%. I did my very first flying lesson back in 2020, right before the world shut down for COVID. And since then, I haven't done any official flying lessons, but when I go back to the UK, my best friend Tom, who lives back there, he has his own plane. He has a really cool Piper Cub, and we go up in that. And the last time I was back there in September of last year, I actually did do some takeoffs and some landings. I think we did 4 or 5 in total. So I have got a good feel for how to fly. I just need to do all of the, you know, formal stuff. I feel like it would be an added freedom that would be a cool thing to add to my roster. So I'd be able to explore via water, via land with the truck, and then via air with the aeroplane. And realistically, other than space, oh, and a submarine, I think that pretty much ticks off all of the utility vehicles that I could use to go out and experience rad stuff. So the next question is from Multitasking Official, and the question is, any plans to adventure in another country, and where would you like to go? Well, actually, yes. I have been talking to a couple of YouTubers from Australia who do a very similar thing to what I do, but down under. And I quite fancy going and throwing my shrimp on the barbie. So maybe a little trip down to Australia is in the works, who knows? Honestly, there's so many places that I would love to go. Costa Rica is super high up on my list. I would love to go and explore the rainforest there, go and hang out with the sloths and just see all the wildlife. So yeah, the world is a big place and it is made very, very, very small by hairy planes. And if you don't travel, then you should, because it's never been easier and honestly more affordable. if you look around and you don't want to try and fly first class everywhere, you can get some screaming deals to places that you probably thought you would never be able to visit. So the next question is from Gabriel Josu. How do you balance financial responsibility versus spending money on toys and watches, etc.? Honestly, that's a great question, because I don't have a definitive answer, because I flip-flop between being fiscally responsible and buying things like Honda K trucks that I find on Facebook Marketplace when I'm drunk. I think the key is you just have to get the right balance. So every month I put money aside that goes into a savings account that is my rainy day fund, investment fund, whatever you want to call it. And that way I never see that money, and so it feels like I never got it. So that's a really good way to sort of make sure that you are at least putting away something. Now, I also want to put a little disclaimer here. This is in no way financial advice or anything similar. This is just what I do. For the bigger stuff, I'm also in a different position, because, like, for example, that Honda K truck, if I just worked a 9 to 5 and that was just going to be a toy, then it might have been hard to justify the expense. But because I'm going to use it for content, and because it's going to be something that I build out on the channel, I can essentially make money from it, so it becomes sort of an investment. Now, I'm using that term very lightly. Like, I'm not using that term like it's a real investment, but at least there's a way for me to recoup some of the initial outlay via making money from, you know, it being part of a YouTube channel or YouTube videos. And honestly, I learned the hard way back when I was about 21, because I did a huge photography campaign for Honda motorcycles. If you didn't know, before I did this YouTube thing, I was a commercial advertising photographer. So I used to shoot the photos that you see on billboards or in magazines, all that kind of stuff. I did a huge campaign for Honda. It was a 6-figure campaign. It was the biggest job I'd ever done in my life, and I came home feeling like I was a millionaire. So what I ended up doing was basically taking my foot off the gas pedal when it came to work. I wasn't going out looking for more jobs. I wasn't really paying much attention to what I was spending money on. And so the first thing I did was I bought a new motorcycle, because obviously, why wouldn't you? I bought a Honda Fireblade, which I absolutely loved, and it is my second favorite motorcycle I've ever owned in my life. I also took my girlfriend at the time on a really nice holiday, all-inclusive, to the Caribbean. And then I bought a house, which I guess was actually a very wise purchase, because I made a lot of money on that house when I came to sell it, and that's what funded my move out here. The foot off the gas thing was the biggest learning curve, because just because I saw that money in my bank account, I figured that I could just take it easy. And then within 12 months, the money had basically all but gone, and I found myself then having to really work hard to top up that money again and go out and get more work. That was the biggest lesson, and I'm so glad that it happened when it did, when I was young, because I've now carried that mentality all the way through my career. And so I always have my foot on the gas pedal, constantly looking forward, constantly looking at how I can grow, both as a person, as a business. So that's probably the biggest lesson that I've learned in terms of managing how you spend money on toys versus how you save and, you know, plan for your future. Just get that balance right and you'll be fine. So I'm just about to come out of the harbour entrance, and right over there there's a load of splashes. So not sure if it's dolphins or seals or fish or what it is, but we'll go over there and check them out. We've got to go say hi to the seals anyway. Yeah, look at that. Here they are. Here he is. Hi, bud. Oh, it's so nice to have him back. Here they are, look, just chilling. It's got to have been, honestly, probably like 3 or 4 months since I've been out in the ocean. I used to be out here all the time, but I've been doing so much exploring on the Colorado River this year that most of my free time, when I can get out on the SeaDoo, that's where I've been. So it's definitely nice to be back out on the open ocean. There's loads of them. I can't believe how many dolphins are out. They're all the way out here too. I'm probably, I don't know, maybe 2-3 miles offshore now. And there's like a whole pod over here kicking around. And there was some following the whale watching boat over there, and then basically all the way from shore out to here there's been like little pods of them. So it's obviously good eating at the moment. It's a good time to come out. All right, let's get into some more questions. So Jetski PWC says, what is your favorite location you've ever ridden? That's a good question. I think it's probably got to be that little section of river underneath the Hoover Dam, because it was just so picturesque and there was nobody there. The water was crystal clear. It was so hot, but the water was nice and cool. It was just the perfect, like, personification, if that's the right word, of, wow, geez, can you chill out, please? Thank you. Anyway, yes, so the sort of best example of where the Explorer, or, you know, any PWC for that matter, but for me, you know, where the Explorer can take you and the sort of adventures that it can facilitate, that was one of the most memorable for sure. I also love being out here. Yeah, probably that section underneath the Colorado, and if you haven't seen that episode, go and check it out. I'll put a link in the description because, yeah, it was just amazing, absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to get back there. So the next question kind of follows up on that. Is that just a dolphin tail slap? I think it was, yeah, it is. Hi guys. So Jamie Coates says, if you were to design the next SeaDoo adventure jet ski, what was the one thing you would add to it? Well, obviously, if you've been watching the videos over the last few months, you've seen all the stuff that I've added to my Explorer. It all started off with my anchor system, which I've actually changed up a little bit since then. So I got rid of the mount that went up there and I replaced it with a soft shackle on this section because it just puts this slightly closer to me, which makes it easier when I need to get the anchor. So that was the first thing, was that anchor line that leads up to here, so I don't have to get wet in order to anchor from the bow. And then this rack on the front is probably my favorite thing that I've added so far. So it clamps onto the existing rails, puts a link attachment system up here. You can also bungee cord stuff to it. I'm going to come out with a bunch of different plates for it as well. And that thing is amazing. Right now I've just got this dry bag, but you can basically put whatever you want up there within reason. So that has been a huge game changer for me. Right now I'm very light on the back. I've only got my anchor, but typically this thing is fully loaded. So having an extra point up front to help not only with extra storage, but also with weight distribution really makes a difference. And then obviously I've got my running lights, my nav lights down there that are turned off. And then these yellow fog lights are probably the best part about the lighting system. They are just so bright. They make such a difference when you're out riding. Even on a day like today where it's clear, you can see them for miles and miles. And obviously out on the ocean, when you've got bigger boats around you and you're on a little PWC, it's nice to be seen. I mean, who knows, maybe I'll think of something, but right now I think the mods that I've made to the Explorer have made it the ultimate expedition PWC. There's not many things that this can't do. Maybe some sort of intake grate that really allows you to ride in shallow water and not suck stuff up, but obviously that's going to rob performance, so I don't know how feasible that would be, but that's basically it, right? You just want to go further in shallower water. And other than that, maybe add some sort of like satellite communication device to the ski itself. So obviously when I go out in the boonies, I have my Zoleo, which is kind of like a Garmin InReach. Maybe it'd be cool to integrate something like that into the ski itself. Cell phone signal booster would also be a cool thing to add. It might be something that I'm going to do to this. We'll see. I'm speaking to WeBoost at the moment. Other than that, there really isn't anything. I love this thing, and I think I've basically modded it out exactly how I would want one to come from the factory. Alright, next two questions, a bit of a double header. Mark Tisdale Jr. Ever thought about messing with vintage SeaDoos? And then Jet Girl, aka Anna Glennon. When are you getting a stand-up? So first of all, Mark, yes, I've definitely thought about messing with vintage SeaDoos. There are some wild things that SeaDoo created over the years. They obviously did all of their boats. I had one and I love that thing. Yes, I've definitely thought about it. I just don't have enough information about what route to go down. But the very first PWC ever made, the very first SeaDoo, looks so much fun. It's essentially just like a dinner tray with a jet pump on it. I mean, it's so flat underneath that it would just be like skimming a rock. So I would love to have a go on one of those. And then Anna, when am I getting a stand-up? Soon, probably, honestly. I really do need to learn how to ride them. I feel like if I can only ride sit downs, I'm not fully living out my dreams as a PWC influencer. Maybe a SeaDoo powered Pro Force would be kind of the way to go, but one of the smaller ones, one of the first ones, not the V3. That thing's mega. So yes, there probably is a stand-up in my future at some point. I just don't know exactly when. W Thompson 2495 says, what's the plan for the new minivan? So if you've not seen, I think it was last week's episode, go and check it out. I bought a little Honda Acti K truck. So it's a tiny little four-wheel drive truck that came from Japan, and it's got like a 600cc engine, a little 5-speed. It's wild. They're so much fun. I'm going to do a build with it of some description. Obviously, I can't leave things alone. It's already got knobby tyres and a little suspension lift, but I want to go through it all, freshen everything up, because there are definitely some clunks and bumps and bangs that shouldn't be there. So once I've given it a detail, gone through it, made sure it's all mechanically sound, then I don't know, I'll kind of figure it out. I do quite like the idea of having it be like a smaller version of my truck, so something that I can go camping with, something that I can just, you know, run around in. Obviously I'm limited to where I can go because it will only do 60 miles an hour, so I can't take it on the freeway, for example, and there are certain main roads that I really shouldn't take it on. So that limits me somewhat, but it's also very easy to stick on a trailer because it's so small. I mean, no joke, if I still had a flatbed, if I didn't have the bed in the back of my truck, then I could just drive it up ramps and sit it in the back of my truck and take it around that way. Like I said, I was a little bit tipsy when I bought that thing, so I don't really have a solid plan, going back to the whole like financial responsibility thing, but I'll make it work. I'll do something cool with it for sure. So the next question is directly linked to this moment right now. So Harry P. Holiday says, I've recently quit my corporate job. What's your advice for living a more fulfilling life? You just got to do what you love. If at all possible, make sure that the job that you do is the thing that you are the most passionate about in life, or very, very close to that. I know that's not for everyone. I know not everybody is cut out to be self-employed, but if you have the chops to do that, to go out and do something and make a business out of your passion, I guarantee you, you will never work a day in your life. And if you can't do that, if you don't have that in your personality type, then just make sure that the job that you do gives you job satisfaction, and that you don't just spend your weeks waiting for the weekend. Life is so short and we get such a little amount of time to enjoy ourselves that you just have to make every moment count. And I'm saying that to you as I'm out here in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by dolphins, having a great time. And I didn't get here by accident. I lived in a very small town in the middle of England where not a lot of people decide to move out and come and do things like this. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it was always my dream to explore the world and to do epic stuff. And so by a series of decisions and sacrifices and tough choices, I ended up being where I am right now as I talk to you. Every single decision in my life has led to this very moment, and I definitely don't think that's a bad thing. Another really, really important factor is surround yourself with amazing people. Surround yourself with people that support you, people that love you, people that want to see you succeed. And if there are people in your life that don't, or there are people in your life that you feel like are negative or spread negativity or make you feel down when you spend time with them, you have to cut them out. As tough as that sounds, you just have to cut them out, because they will only ever be an anchor. They will only ever be the type of person that holds you back, and that's not what you want in life. So I just realized I didn't come see the seals on the way out. That is such bad form. That's how out of practice I am. Hello, guys. No, don't fight. fishy smelly people. Big boy, huh? Well, there we go, guys. That is going to wrap up today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry we didn't get to see the orcas, but they've been sort of few and far between, but they are out there. So maybe we'll get the opportunity soon. Adventure shirts are going to be going for sale very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. They're perfect for days like today where you need a little bit of coverage. They're not too hot, not too cold. Definitely worth a look. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give it a big thumbs up, share it, follow me on Instagram. Do all the things, and most importantly, remember, until next time, don't do anything I wouldn't do. See ya.